Okay, how's it going, everybody? So everybody should know who I am. This is Miss Webster right now. And we're going to go through the PBA assignment that you'll be completing. Remember, this is a mandatory assessment from the district. It is not created by any teachers here, so y'all need to do it, or Mr. Bailey's won't come for y'all. So before we start anything, we're going to read the directions. Number 1, read through document A and document B before doing anything else. Ask yourself, what are these documents talking about? How are they similar? How are they different? Ask the teacher if you are confused about the documents or what they mean once you read them. Then go down to slide 4 and read the driving historical question. Remember, the driving historical question is just a question with a fancy name. It is the question that needs to be answered by the documents. It is the question that we are researching with the documents that have been provided to us. Then read the claim below it. This answers the question. So in history, the most interesting things to study are not the chronological dates, the facts that we know. It's the hows, the whys. And those are always going to be open to interpretation. So when we make an argument, we can't say this is fact because it's not, but you're like, I claim that this is why George Washington did this, or this is why the Red Army was able to take Berlin. But to claim something, you have to have evidence to back it up. So once you read the claim and you know what we're supporting, you're going to read the documents again. You need to prove the claim true with receipts from the document. You need to quote either specific lines, specific pieces of imagery, and use that as your evidence. It has to be a specific element. It cannot be a summary of the whole document. You're going to use both documents to find 3 pieces of evidence. And then for the reasoning, you're going to explain why the evidence proves the claim right. This is just, okay, this quote proves the claim right because, and then fill in the blanks. So we're going to follow the directions. We're going to read through each document. So we have an image here of, it looks like a general of some kind pinning a badge on, it looks like a Japanese American soldier. And the text reads, Japanese Americans served in the U.S. Armed Forces in large numbers, despite having their loyalties questioned after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Though they mostly served in the segregated 442nd Regimental Combat Team in the 100th Infantry Battalion, others served as translators and interpreters in the Military Intelligence Service. Because of the unique role they played during and after the war, Japanese American war veterans continue to play an influential role in the community. By the end of the war, Japanese American soldiers have received 9,486 Purple Hearts, 8 Presidential Unit citations, 559 Silver Stars, and 52 Distinguished Service Crosses, and 1 Medal of Honor. That's document A. Document B. Japanese American imprisonment during World War I. We have a map of the United States. The key reads, the circles are WCCA Assembly Center, WRA Relocation Center, WRA Isolation Center, WRA Temporary Camp or other WRA facility. The stars are Justice Department, U.S. Army, or other facility. The text reads, after the attack on Pearl Harbor, President Roosevelt signed Executive Order 9066, forcing all Japanese Americans out of the exclusion area shown above into relocation centers, isolation centers, and camps. Now, we refer to them as internment camps, but the Germans referred to their camps as concentration camps. Yeah. So ask yourself, what are these 2 documents talking about? How are they different and how are they the same? So we read the documents. If you have questions, ask your teacher. Now we're going to go down to slide 4 and read the driving historical question and the claim, which I did not put, so. Okay. The question: how did the United States government treat Japanese Americans differently during World War II? The claim: while some Japanese Americans served as honored members of the military, others were discriminated against. So you need to pull evidence that proves some Japanese Americans were honored and some were discriminated against. Now remember, you're not going to say, in this whole picture, there's a guy getting a medal, and it says they did this, this, and this. Now, you can use the picture and say a Japanese American man is getting a military medal, and that could be evidence 1. But evidence 2 could be something you quote from the text. Remember, you want to use both because the claim talks about Japanese Americans serving as honored members of the military and others were discriminated against. So make sure you use both. And you can use the text or the map, etc. Remember, this is mandatory, and don't forget to put your name up here because I have to copy and paste it into another file, and y'all just save me that hassle. Y'all have a good